Never Give Up, written and published by Audiobooks. When most people hear the phrase never give up, they immediately think of blind persistence, pushing forward against all odds without any consideration for strategy or circumstances. However, true persistence is far more nuanced and intelligent than simply refusing to quit. It's about understanding the delicate balance between determination and adaptability, between staying the course and knowing when to adjust your approach. The essence of never giving up isn't about stubbornly continuing down a failing path. It's about maintaining your commitment to your ultimate goal while being flexible about the methods you use to achieve it. Think of it like water flowing downstream. It doesn't stop when it hits a boulder. It finds a way around it. This intelligent persistence is what separates those who achieve their dreams from those who merely exhaust themselves fighting unwinnable battles. Lesson 1. What never give up really means, beyond just persistence. At its core, never giving up is built on 4 fundamental pillars. The first is clarity of purpose, having a deep, unwavering understanding of what you're pursuing and why it matters to you. Without this foundation, it's impossible to maintain long-term motivation when faced with obstacles. The second pillar is strategic thinking, the ability to assess situations objectively and adjust your approach when necessary. This means being honest with yourself about what's working and what isn't, and being willing to change tactics while keeping your eye on the ultimate prize. The third pillar is emotional resilience, the capacity to manage your internal state during difficult times. This involves developing the mental toughness to handle setbacks without letting them derail your progress, and the ability to maintain optimism even when faced with temporary failures. The fourth pillar is active learning, treating every experience, whether success or failure, as an opportunity to grow and improve your approach. Understanding when to pivot versus when to persist is perhaps one of the most crucial skills in the never give up mindset. This requires developing a keen sense of self-awareness and the ability to distinguish between temporary obstacles and genuine dead ends. Ask yourself, is this challenge testing my resolve, or is it telling me to find a better way? Are my current struggles part of the natural learning process, or are they signs that my approach needs adjustment? True persistence also involves understanding the difference between your goals and your methods. Your goals should be relatively stable, representing your core values and aspirations. Your methods, however, should remain flexible and open to innovation. For example, if your goal is to become financially independent, you might start with one business idea, but if that doesn't work, you pivot to another approach rather than going down with a sinking ship. The never give up mindset requires developing a healthy relationship with failure. Instead of seeing failures as permanent defeats, view them as valuable data points that inform your next steps. This perspective shift transforms setbacks from discouraging obstacles into useful feedback that helps refine your approach. It's about maintaining your commitment to the journey while being willing to take detours when necessary. Perhaps most importantly, never giving up means maintaining faith in your ability to eventually succeed, even when you can't see the path forward clearly. This isn't blind faith, but rather a confidence built on the understanding that persistence itself is a skill that grows stronger with practice. Every time you push through a difficult period, you build evidence for your ability to overcome challenges. The true meaning of never giving up is about maintaining an unwavering commitment to your goals while remaining flexible and intelligent in your approach to achieving them. It's about developing the wisdom to know when to push harder and when to step back and reassess. It's about building the emotional resilience to weather storms and the strategic thinking to navigate around obstacles. Most of all, it's about believing in the power of persistent, intelligent effort to eventually overcome any challenge that stands between you and your dreams. Lesson 2. The psychology behind people who never quit and how to become one. The human mind is a remarkable instrument that shapes our ability to persevere through challenges. Those who never quit share distinct psychological characteristics that set them apart from others. Understanding these traits and learning how to cultivate them can transform anyone, into a more resilient and determined individual. At the core of persistent people lies an unwavering belief in their ability to overcome obstacles. This self-efficacy isn't something they're born with. Rather, it's developed through repeated experiences of pushing through difficulties. They view challenges not as threats but as opportunities for growth, embracing what psychologists call a growth mindset. This perspective allows them to see failures and setbacks as temporary situations rather than permanent conditions. Persistent people also possess high levels of emotional intelligence. They can recognize and manage their emotional responses to setbacks, maintaining composure under pressure. This emotional regulation enables them to make clear-headed decisions even when facing significant challenges. They've learned to separate their emotional reactions from their logical decision-making processes, allowing them to stay focused on their goals despite temporary discomfort or fear. Another key characteristic is their internal locus of control, the belief that they, not external circumstances, determine their fate. This mindset empowers them to take responsibility for their situations and actively work towards solutions, rather than waiting for conditions to improve on their own. They understand that while they can't control everything that happens to them, they can control their response to events. These people also demonstrate remarkable cognitive flexibility. They can adapt their strategies without abandoning their ultimate goals, understanding that there are multiple paths to success. This flexibility allows them to navigate obstacles more effectively, finding alternative routes when their initial plans don't work out. The development of these psychological traits isn't mysterious. It follows clear patterns that anyone can replicate. It begins with conscious effort to reframe challenges as learning opportunities. Each time you face a difficulty, practice viewing it through the lens of personal growth rather than personal threat. This simple shift in perspective can dramatically alter your response to adversity. Building resilience also requires exposure to challenging situations. Just as muscles grow stronger through resistance training, psychological resilience develops through facing and overcoming difficulties. Start with small challenges and gradually increase the complexity of the obstacles you take on. Each success builds confidence and strengthens your belief in your ability to handle future challenges. Persistent people also maintain strong support networks. They understand that seeking help isn't a sign of weakness, but a strategy for success. They surround themselves with people who encourage their growth and provide honest feedback. This social support system helps them maintain perspective during difficult times and offers practical assistance when needed. One often overlooked aspect of persistent psychology is the role of self-compassion. Those who never quit aren't harder on themselves. They're actually better at self-forgiveness and maintaining perspective. They understand that setbacks are part of any worthwhile journey and don't waste energy on self-criticism. Instead, they focus on learning from their experiences and moving forward. To develop these psychological traits, start by examining your current thought patterns and responses to challenges. Notice when you engage in self-defeating thoughts or behaviors. Practice replacing these with more constructive alternatives. Develop daily habits that reinforce resilience, such as reflecting on past successes, planning for potential obstacles, and celebrating small victories along the way. Becoming someone who never quits isn't about eliminating fear or doubt. It's about learning to act despite these feelings. These psychological characteristics aren't fixed traits, but skills that can be developed through conscious effort and practice. With dedication and the right approach, anyone can strengthen their psychological resilience and become someone who persists in the face of challenges. Lesson 3. The most powerful never give up quotes that changed lives. Throughout history, powerful words have sparked incredible transformations in people's lives. These aren't just motivational phrases printed on coffee mugs. They're catalysts that have pushed people to achieve what seemed impossible. When Thomas Edison said, "I have not failed. I've just found 10,000 ways that won't work," he transformed the very concept of failure into a stepping stone towards success. This quote has inspired countless inventors and entrepreneurs to persist through their early struggles. Consider the impact of Nelson Mandela's words. It always seems impossible until it's done. During his 27 years in prison, these words weren't just a catchy phrase, they were his lifeline. Today, they continue to inspire people facing seemingly insurmountable challenges. A young entrepreneur in Singapore used this quote as her daily meditation while building her tech startup after 5 failed ventures. She now runs a successful company valued at millions, crediting Mandela's words for helping her push through her darkest moments. Maya Angelou's "You may encounter many defeats, but you must not be defeated" has become a beacon of hope for people battling personal demons. A recovering addict in Boston painted these words on his bedroom wall, reading them every morning during his journey to sobriety. 3 years later, he not only maintained his recovery but also established a support network helping others overcome addiction. The power of these quotes lies not in their mere repetition, but in their practical application. When Winston Churchill declared, "Success is not final, failure is not fatal. It is the courage to continue that counts," he provided a framework for resilience. A professional athlete used this quote to rebuild her career after a devastating injury. She posted it in her rehabilitation room, and it became her mantra during months of painful physical therapy. Today, she's not only back in competition, but performing at higher levels than before her injury. These transformative quotes often gain their power through personal interpretation and connection. Rocky Balboa's fictional but impactful words, "It's not about how hard you hit, it's about how hard you can get hit and keep moving forward," resonated deeply with a single mother who faced unemployment during an economic downturn. She recited these words while sending out job applications daily, eventually landing a position that led to a fulfilling career change. The key to harnessing the power of these quotes lies in making them personally meaningful. When Steve Jobs said, "Stay hungry, stay foolish," he wasn't just delivering a graduation speech, he was sharing his life philosophy. A college dropout turned this quote into his personal mission statement, using it to fuel his unconventional approach to education. He created an online learning platform that now helps thousands of students access education in innovative ways. Creating your own motivational mantras can be equally powerful. A successful business coach combines different quotes to create personalized motivation for her clients. She encourages them to write their own versions, incorporating personal experiences and aspirations. This practice helps transform generic motivation into deeply personal fuel for persistence. The most powerful quotes often emerge from moments of great challenge. Michelle Obama's "When they go low, we go high" became more than a political statement. It evolved into a guiding principle for maintaining dignity and determination in the face of adversity. A high school teacher used this quote to transform her approach to dealing with difficult students, creating a more positive classroom environment that improved both behavior and academic performance. These quotes serve as bridges between inspiration and action, between momentary motivation and lasting change. They become most powerful when integrated into daily life, serving as touchstones during difficult moments and celebrations of progress during victories. By understanding the stories behind these quotes and connecting them to our own journeys, we transform mere words into catalysts for personal transformation and unwavering persistence. Lesson 4. 5 ways to tell yourself to keep going when times get tough. When faced with challenging circumstances, our internal dialogue becomes the cornerstone of our resilience. The way we talk to ourselves during difficult moments can either propel us forward or hold us back. Understanding and mastering self-talk strategies is essential for maintaining momentum when obstacles appear insurmountable. The first powerful way to keep going is through what psychologists call distancing language. Instead of saying, "I can't do this," switch to addressing yourself by name or in the second person. "Sarah, you've overcome challenges before and you can do it again." This simple shift creates emotional distance from the situation, allowing you to view challenges more objectively and access your inner strength more effectively. The second approach involves creating a personal highlight reel of past successes. During tough times, actively remind yourself of previous victories, no matter how small. Your brain responds to evidence, and recalling past achievements provides concrete proof of your capability to overcome obstacles. This isn't mere positive thinking. It's about building a factual case for your resilience based on historical data from your own life. The third strategy focuses on reframing challenges as temporary situations rather than permanent conditions. Adding the word "yet" to your internal dialogue transforms limiting statements into opportunities for growth. "I haven't figured this out yet" carries a fundamentally different emotional weight than "I can't figure this out." This linguistic shift maintains open possibilities and prevents you from mentally backing yourself into corners. The fourth method involves developing what athletes call performance statements. These are specific, action-oriented phrases that focus on process rather than outcome, instead of telling yourself to hang in there or stay strong. Vague encouragements that lack practical direction. Create statements like "take one step at a time" or "focus on the next right action." These directives give your mind clear, manageable instructions to follow when emotions are running high. The fifth approach leverages the power of future-focused visualization, combined with present-moment awareness. When facing difficulties, imagine your future self looking back on this current challenge. What would that version of you want to say about how you handled this situation? This perspective shift helps maintain long-term motivation while simultaneously grounding you in the present moment's opportunities for growth. Implementing these self-talk strategies requires practice and consistency. Start by identifying your current internal dialogue patterns during challenging situations. Most people are surprised to discover how harsh or defeatist their natural self-talk can be. Once you're aware of your patterns, consciously choose one new approach to practice each week. This gradual integration allows these new habits to form naturally, rather than trying to overhaul your entire internal communication system at once. Emergency motivation techniques work best when they're prepared in advance. Create a personal pep talk toolkit by writing down your most effective self-talk statements and keeping them readily accessible. This might be notes in your phone, a small card in your wallet, or even voice recordings you can play when needed. The key is having these resources prepared before you need them, as it's much harder to generate encouraging self-talk in the midst of a crisis. Mental toughness develops through consistent practice of these techniques during both major and minor challenges. Don't wait for significant obstacles to implement these strategies. Use them during small daily difficulties to build the mental muscle memory needed for larger challenges. Each time you successfully navigate a tough situation using these self-talk methods, you strengthen your resilience and expand your capacity to handle future challenges. Effective self-talk isn't about denying reality or forcing artificial positivity. It's about maintaining a productive dialogue with yourself that acknowledges difficulties while focusing on solutions and growth opportunities. These conversations with yourself shape your experience of challenges and ultimately determine your ability to persist when times get tough. Lesson 5. Small Daily Progress. How Tiny Steps Create Massive Results. The journey of 1,000 miles begins with a single step, and this ancient wisdom holds particularly true when it comes to achieving significant goals. Small daily progress, often overlooked in favor of grand gestures and dramatic changes, actually forms the backbone of lasting success and meaningful achievement. Consider the power of compound effect in your daily actions. When you make a one's improvement each day, the cumulative impact over a year is remarkable, not just 365, but exponentially more due to the compounding nature of progress. This principle applies to every area of life, from fitness and learning to business and personal development. The key to leveraging small daily progress lies in breaking down your larger goals into manageable, bite-sized pieces. Instead of becoming overwhelmed by the magnitude of your ultimate objective, focus on the immediate next step. If you're writing a book, commit to writing just 500 words daily. If you're learning a new language, dedicate 15 minutes each day to practice. These seemingly modest commitments, when maintained consistently, yield impressive results over time. The beauty of small daily progress lies in its sustainability. Unlike intense bursts of effort that often lead to burnout, steady, incremental improvements create a sustainable path forward. They allow you to build momentum gradually while developing the habits and systems necessary for long-term success. This approach also helps maintain motivation, as you'll regularly experience the satisfaction of completing achievable tasks. Tracking your progress becomes crucial in this journey. By maintaining a record of your daily achievements, no matter how small, you create a visual representation of your growth. This documentation serves multiple purposes. It provides accountability, helps identify patterns in your behavior, and offers encouragement during challenging times. When you look back at your progress log, you'll often be surprised by how far you've come through consistent small steps. The concept of marginal gains, popularized by the British cycling team's remarkable success, demonstrates how tiny improvements across multiple areas can lead to extraordinary results. By focusing on improvements in various aspects of their training, equipment, and recovery, they transformed from mediocrity to dominance in their sport. This same principle can be applied to any goal or ambition. Small daily progress also helps in building resilience. When you encounter setbacks, which are inevitable in any worthwhile pursuit, the habit of taking small steps forward makes it easier to bounce back. Instead of seeing failure as a catastrophic event, you understand that progress is made through consistent effort over time, not through single moments of triumph or defeat. Creating a system for daily progress involves establishing triggers and routines that make taking action automatic. Link your small steps to existing habits, set specific times for your daily actions, and create an environment that supports your goals. The easier you make it to take these small steps, the more likely you are to maintain consistency. Progress isn't always linear. Some days will show more advancement than others, and occasionally you might feel like you're moving backward. This is normal and part of the journey. The key is to maintain perspective and focus on the overall trend rather than daily fluctuations. Small steps forward, even on difficult days, maintain momentum and prevent complete stops that can be hard to overcome. Each small step builds upon the previous ones, creating a foundation for larger achievements. Like a snowball rolling downhill, these tiny actions gather momentum and power as they progress. What starts as a modest daily commitment can transform into significant change over time, proving that steady, consistent progress, no matter how small, is the true key to achieving your biggest goals and ambitions. Lesson 6. The Science of Persistence. Why consistency beats intensity. The human brain is remarkably adaptable, and science has shown that consistent actions create lasting changes in our neural pathways. This phenomenon, known as neuroplasticity, explains why steady, regular effort often yields better results than sporadic bursts of intense activity. When we understand the scientific principles behind persistence, we can harness them to create lasting behavioral change and achieve our goals more effectively. Research in neuroscience has revealed that each time we perform an action or think a particular thought, we strengthen the neural connections associated with that behavior. These pathways become more efficient with repetition, much like a trail becomes more defined the more frequently it's traveled. This is why consistency is crucial. It literally reshapes our brain structure to support our desired behaviors and habits. The role of dopamine, often called the reward neurotransmitter, is particularly fascinating in the context of persistence. While commonly associated with pleasure, dopamine is actually more involved in anticipation and motivation. When we achieve small, consistent wins, our brain releases dopamine, reinforcing the behaviors that led to those successes. This creates a positive feedback loop that makes it easier to maintain consistent effort over time. Studies have shown that intense, sporadic efforts often lead to burnout and are less effective at creating lasting change. This is because our brains require time to consolidate new neural pathways and behaviors. Think of it like building muscle. Working out intensely once a week is less effective than moderate exercise several times a week. The same principle applies to any skill or habit we're trying to develop. The science of habit formation indicates that it takes approximately 66 days, not the commonly cited 21 days for a new behavior to become automatic. This longer time frame emphasizes the importance of sustainable, consistent effort over quick fixes or intense short-term programs. When we understand this timeline, we can set more realistic expectations and create better strategies for long-term success. Our brains are also wired to conserve energy, which means they naturally resist change and new behaviors. This is why consistency is so crucial. It helps override this natural resistance by gradually making new behaviors feel normal and automatic. Each time we perform our desired behavior, we're essentially programming our brain to expect and accept this new pattern. Environmental cues play a significant role in maintaining consistency. Research has shown that our surroundings and regular triggers can either support or undermine our persistence. By creating an environment that supports our goals and establishing regular cues for our desired behaviors, we can make consistency more natural and automatic. The concept of neural pruning also supports the importance of consistency. Our brains regularly eliminate neural connections that aren't frequently used while strengthening those that are. This means that consistent practice not only builds new neural pathways, but also helps preserve them against our brain's natural tendency to eliminate unused connections. Understanding these scientific principles allows us to approach persistence more strategically. Instead of relying on motivation or willpower alone, we can create systems that work with our brain's natural tendencies. This might involve breaking down goals into smaller, daily actions, establishing clear environmental cues, and focusing on progress rather than perfection. The science is clear. When it comes to achieving lasting results, steady, consistent effort trumps sporadic intensity every time. By aligning our actions with these biological principles, we can build sustainable habits and achieve our goals more effectively. The key is to focus on regular, manageable actions that we can maintain over time, rather than exhausting ourselves with unsustainable bursts of effort. Lesson 7. Famous success stories of people who refuse to quit. History is filled with remarkable people who turned seemingly impossible situations into extraordinary success through sheer determination and unwillingness to give up. Walt Disney was fired from a newspaper for lacking creativity and faced multiple bankruptcies before creating his entertainment empire. His early struggles shaped his resilience, teaching him that setbacks were merely temporary obstacles on the path to achieving his vision. J.K. Rowling's journey from a struggling single mother on welfare to becoming one of the world's most successful authors exemplifies the power of persistence. Her manuscript for Harry Potter was rejected by 12 different publishers before finally being accepted. During this period, she continued refining her work while battling depression and financial hardship, believing in her story's value despite numerous setbacks. Thomas Edison's path to inventing the practical electric light bulb involved over 1,000 unsuccessful attempts. When questioned about his failures, he famously remarked that he hadn't failed but had successfully found 1,000 ways that wouldn't work. This perspective transformation turned what others might view as repeated failures into valuable learning experiences, demonstrating how persistence coupled with the right mindset can lead to breakthrough innovations. Colonel Sanders, the founder of Kentucky Fried Chicken, faced rejection 1009 times before someone finally accepted his chicken recipe. He started his journey at age 65, proving that age is no barrier to success when coupled with unwavering determination. His story teaches us that persistence often requires maintaining faith in your vision, even when others repeatedly tell you no. Oprah Winfrey overcame severe childhood trauma, racism, and gender discrimination to become one of the most influential media executives in history. She was fired from her first television job as an anchor in Baltimore, being told she was unfit for TV news. Rather than accepting this verdict, she pivoted to a talk show format where she could be more authentic, eventually building a media empire worth billions. Steve Jobs' journey includes being forced out of Apple, the company he co-founded. Instead of giving up, he used this period to develop new ventures, including Pixar animation studios. His eventual return to Apple led to the company's most innovative and successful period, introducing products that revolutionized multiple industries. His story demonstrates how setbacks can often lead to unexpected opportunities when met with persistence. Stephen King received so many rejection slips for his early works that the nail he used to hang them on his wall could no longer support their weight. His first novel, Carrie, was rejected 30 times before finding a publisher. He kept every rejection slip as motivation, proving that even the most successful authors faced numerous obstacles before achieving recognition. These success stories share common elements that we can learn from. First, they all faced significant, seemingly insurmountable obstacles that would have caused many to quit. Second, they maintained belief in their vision, despite repeated rejections and setbacks. Third, they were willing to adapt their approaches while keeping their core goals intact. Fourth, they used their failures as learning opportunities rather than letting them become sources of discouragement. The power of these stories lies not just in their endings, but in the struggles and persistence that preceded success. They remind us that behind every overnight success story are usually years of dedication, numerous failures, and unwavering determination. These people didn't possess supernatural abilities or extraordinary advantages. Their superpower was simply refusing to give up while others would have walked away. Their experiences teach us that persistence isn't just about blindly pushing forward, but about maintaining faith in your vision while being willing to learn, adapt, and grow through challenges. They show us that success often comes not to the most talented or privileged, but to those who can maintain their determination through repeated setbacks and continue moving forward when others would quit. Lesson 8. The 3-step method to build unbreakable determinations. Building unbreakable determination isn't something that happens overnight. It's a systematic process that requires dedication and a clear methodology. Through years of research and real-world application, a powerful 3-step method has emerged that can transform an average level of determination into an unstoppable force. The first step focuses on building a rock-solid foundation. This begins with clearly identifying your core values and aligning them with your goals. When your objectives resonate deeply with what matters most to you, determination flows naturally. Start by writing down your non-negotiable values and examining how they connect to your aspirations. This foundation also includes creating a supportive environment, surrounding yourself with people who believe in you, and removing negative influences that drain your motivation. Additionally, establish baseline habits that strengthen your resolve, such as regular exercise, adequate sleep, and healthy nutrition. Moving into the second step, we focus on strengthening your resolve through progressive challenges. Think of determination like a muscle. It grows stronger when pushed beyond its comfort zone, but too much strain too quickly can lead to failure. Begin with small challenges that stretch your capabilities slightly, then gradually increase the difficulty. This could mean starting with 5 minutes of a challenging task and slowly extending the duration. The key is to build confidence through consistent small wins while simultaneously expanding your capacity for handling bigger challenges. The third step addresses maintaining momentum, which is often where many people struggle. This involves creating systems that make it easier to stay determined when motivation naturally wanes. Develop trigger-based routines that automatically activate your determination, such as specific music that puts you in a focused state or a particular location where you do your most important work. Implement accountability measures that keep you on track, whether through a mentor, partner, or public commitments. Also, establish regular check-ins to assess your progress and adjust your approach as needed. Throughout this process, you'll encounter obstacles that test your determination. Common challenges include self-doubt, external criticism, and temporary setbacks. Address these proactively by developing specific response strategies. When self-doubt creeps in, have a pre-planned set of evidence-based affirmations ready. When facing criticism, know how to filter constructive feedback from noise. When dealing with setbacks, have a clear protocol for analysis and adjustment rather than letting emotions drive your response. The power of this three-step method lies in its comprehensive approach. Rather than relying on willpower alone, it creates a sustainable system for building and maintaining determination. Each step builds upon the previous one, creating a reinforcing cycle of growth. The foundation provides stability, the strengthening phase builds capacity, and the momentum maintenance ensures long-term success. Understanding the interconnected nature of these steps is crucial. A strong foundation makes it easier to take on progressive challenges, while successfully meeting those challenges naturally builds momentum. This cyclical relationship creates a self-reinforcing system that becomes stronger over time. As you progress, you'll find that what once seemed like insurmountable obstacles become manageable challenges, and your capacity for determination continues to expand. Building unbreakable determination is a journey, not a destination. Each day presents new opportunities to apply and refine this method. The most successful people continuously cycle through these steps, strengthening their foundation, taking on new challenges, and maintaining their momentum. By following this systematic approach, you're not just hoping to become more determined. You're actively building the mental infrastructure that makes determination an integral part of who you are. Lesson 9. How to turn setbacks into stepping stones for success. Life's greatest achievements often emerge from what initially appear to be our most devastating setbacks. The ability to transform obstacles into opportunities isn't just a motivational phrase. It's a practical skill that can be developed and mastered. When we encounter failures or face significant challenges, our natural response might be disappointment, frustration, or even the desire to quit. However, these moments present unique opportunities for growth and innovation that we might never have discovered otherwise. Consider the setback as a temporary pause rather than a permanent stop. Every obstacle contains within it the seeds of an equal or greater benefit, and your task is to find those seeds and nurture them into something meaningful. This process begins with a shift in perspective. Instead of asking, "Why did this happen to me?" ask, "What can this teach me?" This simple reframing transforms you from a victim of circumstances into an active learner and problem solver. Successful people throughout history have demonstrated this principle repeatedly. Thomas Edison's thousands of failed attempts at creating the light bulb weren't viewed as failures, but as discoveries of ways that wouldn't work. Each setback provided valuable data that ultimately led to success. Similarly, when you encounter a setback, treat it as a data point, a piece of information that helps you refine your approach and get closer to your goal. The key to turning setbacks into stepping stones lies in your response time. The faster you can move from disappointment to analysis and action, the more momentum you maintain. This doesn't mean ignoring or suppressing negative emotions. Acknowledge them, but don't let them become your permanent residence. Set a specific time frame for feeling disappointed, then shift your focus to extracting lessons and planning your next move. Every setback contains multiple lessons if you're willing to look for them. Perhaps you learn about your own resilience, discover weaknesses in your strategy that need addressing, or identify blind spots in your preparation. These insights become valuable assets for future endeavors. Document these lessons carefully. They form the foundation of your growing wisdom and experience. Adversity also builds emotional and mental strength in ways that success cannot. Just as physical muscles grow stronger through resistance, your capacity to handle challenges increases with each setback you overcome. This enhanced resilience becomes a valuable asset in all areas of your life, making you better equipped to handle future challenges and pursue ambitious goals. Transform your setbacks into stepping stones by creating specific action plans based on what you've learned. If a business venture fails, analyze the reasons and use that information to create a more robust plan for your next attempt. If a relationship ends, reflect on the experience to understand what you need in future relationships and how you can be a better partner. Every setback contains the blueprint for future success if you're willing to study it carefully. Setbacks often force us to be creative and innovative in ways that smooth sailing never would. Many groundbreaking innovations and successful businesses were born from seemingly devastating setbacks. When traditional paths are blocked, we're forced to explore alternatives we might never have considered otherwise. This forced creativity often leads to better solutions than our original plans. Maintain perspective by looking at setbacks within the larger context of your life journey. What feels like a major setback today might appear as a crucial turning point when viewed from the future. This broader perspective helps maintain optimism and determination during challenging times. Share your experiences with others who might benefit from your lessons learned. Teaching others helps reinforce your own learning and creates positive meaning from difficult experiences. The ability to turn setbacks into stepping stones isn't just about maintaining a positive attitude. It's about developing practical skills and habits that transform obstacles into opportunities. With practice, this approach becomes natural, and you'll find yourself automatically looking for the hidden advantages in every challenge you face. Lesson 10. The morning ritual that builds your never-quit mindset. The way you start your morning sets the tone for your entire day and ultimately shapes your life's trajectory. A powerful morning ritual isn't just about checking items off a to-do list. It's about cultivating a mindset of unwavering determination that carries you through any challenge you might face. The most effective morning rituals begin the night before. By preparing your environment and mindset for success, you remove friction and resistance that might otherwise derail your morning momentum. This includes setting out your clothes, preparing your workspace, and most importantly, getting adequate sleep. Quality rest is the foundation upon which your never-quit mindset is built. Your morning ritual should start with immediate physical movement upon waking. This doesn't mean jumping into an intense workout, but rather simple actions like making your bed, stretching, or taking a short walk. These physical activities trigger a cascade of neurochemical responses that boost your mood and energy levels, making it easier to tackle bigger challenges throughout the day. Meditation, or quiet reflection time, proves essential in building mental resilience. Even 5 minutes of focused breathing can help you connect with your inner determination and strengthen your resolve. During this time, visualize yourself persisting through challenges and achieving your goals. This mental rehearsal programs your brain for success and reinforces your commitment to never giving up. Physical exercise, whether it's a full workout or just a few basic movements, serves as a practical demonstration of your ability to push through discomfort. Each morning workout becomes a microcosm of larger life challenges, teaching you that temporary discomfort leads to long-term growth. The discipline required to exercise regularly directly translates to other areas of your life where persistence is crucial. Reading or listening to inspiring content should be part of your morning ritual. Spend time consuming material that reinforces your determination and reminds you of your capabilities. This could be biographical accounts of persistent people, motivational content, or educational material related to your goals. This daily inspiration serves as fuel for your never-quit attitude. Journaling represents another powerful component of your morning ritual. Writing down your goals, challenges, and progress helps maintain clarity and focus. More importantly, it creates a dialogue between your present and future self, strengthening your commitment to long-term success. Document both your struggles and victories, creating a personal reference guide for persistence. A crucial element of your morning ritual should be goal setting and planning. Take time to outline your most important tasks and connect them to your larger objectives. This strategic planning ensures that your daily actions align with your long-term vision, making it easier to persist when obstacles arise. Your morning nutrition choices play a vital role in building mental strength. A balanced breakfast that provides sustained energy helps maintain focus and determination throughout the day. Treat your body like the valuable instrument it is, understanding that physical well-being directly impacts mental resilience. Perhaps most importantly, your morning ritual should include moments of gratitude and positive affirmation, acknowledging your progress, expressing thankfulness for opportunities to grow, and reinforcing your commitment to persistence creates a powerful psychological foundation. These positive mental habits become self-fulfilling prophecies, strengthening your resolve to never give up. The key to making your morning ritual sustainable lies in gradual implementation. Start with one or two components and build from there. Allow yourself flexibility while maintaining core elements that specifically target your mental strength. Your ritual should evolve with you, adapting to your changing needs while consistently reinforcing your never-quit mindset. Your morning ritual is a practice, not a performance. Some days will flow better than others, but the act of showing up and engaging in these activities, regardless of how you feel, builds the mental muscle of persistence. Each morning becomes an opportunity to recommit to your goals and strengthen your determination to never give up, no matter what challenges lie ahead.